I thought the defense for the better part of the game was much better. I thought that with the exceptions of the end of the first, end of the third, a few other random possessions here and there, but you know, we've really tried to put an emphasis on that in the last 48 hours of shoring that up, and you know, hopefully we will. We'll see. We got a bunch of big challenges coming up. We play every team we play the rest of the way has a lot riding on every game, and so it'll be great because it prepares you for the desperation of the postseason.
And talking about preparation, Coach, how do you divide today and tomorrow in terms of preparation for the game?
Yeah, we went hard in small groups. With our first group, we'll do the exact same workout with the second group. We did that so that guys get more reps, and that and we can really hone in on a few things we need to do to get better, and we can go live because, you know, if we did that tomorrow, it would, you know, probably wouldn't be good with a Friday, Saturday game. We'll go, you know, 50 minutes on the court today, and it'll be pretty good in a 3-on-3 scenario, which I think we need to do. You know, it's good to be able to focus on technique at this time of the year as much as anything else.
Seems like a couple times this year when Gordon's had things that have come up, it's taken him another couple of weeks to kind of get back up to speed, but no, concussion's a little different than an injury, but it seemed like he came right back being that player that he was right before, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to, anytime you have to sit out, especially, you know, concussion, but I guess you know, he's also off his legs for a week, so he, with the exception of all the stuff that he's doing in the protocol to get back. So he, you know, I thought he looked fresh each of the last 2 games, and did some good things. And you know, you could feel his not having him in those 3 games before, just from the standpoint of, you know, some settling us down and being able to play through them and just make the next right play for somebody. So it's good to have him back, and you know, hopefully he'll continue to play well.
Talk about the impact of Smart.
Smart was really good last night. I thought that he, you know, we need that guy that we don't need the 21 points every night. We need the guy who's kind of organizing us, who is making every loose ball, making every play for a loose ball, who is flying around the court, and then you could feel his energy on the court. You could hear him, and I think that's always a good sign.
Coach, I know you don't need the scoring from him, but his finishing ability inside the three-point arc has really improved this season, just in terms of percentages.
He's worked hard. He's worked hard, and he's just got to, you know, just like everybody else, just got to continue to take the good ones, and that's what he's done best this year. I think, is he's made the right decision. You know, I think more times than not, for sure.
That organization that you talked about, that Marcus brings to the table, is that one of those kind of qualities that maybe coaches and his teammates see that maybe doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet and things like that to the average viewer?
There's a reason why he's so valued. You know, in his first 4 years, you know, there's a lot of talk about what he can't do and very little about all the things he does to add value to winning, but everybody knows he's add value to winning. So, like, the numbers are there for a reason, and it's because of the intangibles. And, you know, obviously he's a guy, like a lot of our guys, that's very capable from an offensive standpoint, but what he brings that's unique, right, are all those little things that do add up when your team is playing well.
You guys are going to play Indy twice in the next week, and they're looking like a first-round opponent too. How much can you sort of lock in on them?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty locked in on us right now. Certainly, we prepare and we scout, and we'll be ready for each of those games, and we'll, you know, we're very cognizant of the fact of where the standings are and the likelihood of that playing out. So, yeah, you're looking at it with a great amount of interest and maybe even an enhanced level of detail. But, you know, ultimately, we also can't miss the boat on focusing on us because we have enough to work on ourselves.
Do you hold some back in matchups like that, Brad, given potentially you might play them in the first round, or is that not anything to worry about?
I don't really worry about that stuff. There's 7 games in a series. That stuff all comes out. We have 75 games of film, as do they. You know, we've been, you know, people are easy to scout for the most part. You might add something as the series is going on. You might tweak things. You might guard actions different ways. But I think sometimes when you focus on, you know, trying to trick people, it's more important just to be you and be the best version of yourself.
I know
Right,
you
you
said
talk-
Mark Gordon's made like the right basketball play all year, but is it nice to see him be as aggressive as he's been the last few weeks around the concussion?
Yeah, I just don't worry about, like, I don't necessarily equate aggressiveness with number of shots. Certainly when he has a high volume of shots, he's usually taking good ones. But I think that, you know, he can be aggressive in a number of different ways, and sometimes he'll, you know, the opening will be the shot, sometimes it'll be the right pass. He did both last night. And then I think where you see the greatest sign of, or the greatest signal of growth for him in the past 6 months has been on the defensive end. He's way more comfortable moving laterally and guarding, and looks you know, you can put him on a number of different guys, and he's done a good job on that end.
You talked how important defense is. Obviously, how confident are you that your team's going to commit to the type of defense you're going to need heading into the playoffs?
Well, you know, we're just going to keep harping on it and working on it. Today is a tremendous day to get a chance to hammer down some details and really hone in on what we need to do and get better at. And again, when you do it in small group settings, there's nowhere to hide. And so, like, that's good too. And if we do, we'll have a chance to have a good team and have a chance. But if we don't, we won't. So that's the bottom line.
Brad, the Baines Horford combo in the front court has been really good defensively for a couple of years. Have you seen anything new from them this year, just in terms of that pairing?
No, I mean, we knew that going in. Obviously, the challenge of the league is guarding a lot of the spread teams. Obviously, that night in, night out, it's a different challenge. So there are some lineups and some teams that you might play that against more. Some lineups that are really hard to play that against. But generally, I think they both bring a real defensive DNA, and I think they're very committed to doing whatever it takes to make it really hard to score on. And with their size and length, I think we have a different impact at the rim. But when you're playing a team that's super small, fast, and spread out, it is tough to guard when you have a more traditional lineup.
In addition to that starting, you use some bigger lineups off the bench too. Is that something you feel is important as you guys have kind of stacked defensively?
Yeah, once all those guys get off minutes restrictions, Jay, it'll be a lot easier. That's why we were what we were yesterday. Like both those guys were supposed to be under 30 or right at that or whatever the case may be. So we were trying to manage some minutes without them, which made it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, we'd like to play big more, but that's, we're going to play ultimately. We're going to match up and go into each game with what we think is the best way to defeat the other team.